Hi boys and girls, my name is Miss Jenkins and today I'm going to be teaching you about long division. Long division has a lot of steps and it can be tricky, so just remember to follow along with me. And also, remember that if you ever feel lost or you feel confused, that you can rewind and rewatch the video all over again. Also, another thing that will help you is to take notes in your math journal using the guided note worksheet that I gave you in class yesterday. What is division? Division is the splitting of large groups into smaller groups. It is the process of undoing multiplication. Okay, so what we have here is an example of a long division equation. And what I like to do is I like to call this little guy right here a house to make it easier to understand the roles for each part of the equation. And this guy right here, 30, living inside of the house, making it known as a dividend. And a dividend is the number that is being broken down. Right here, this guy, the guy living outside of the house, is known as a divisor. This is the number you divide by. It's easy enough. And lastly, the number living on top of the house is known as a quotient, the number that is on top and the answer to the problem. So this I have here is just a fun way of remembering the steps for long division. Okay, so does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers? Kind of weird, but there's a purpose. The D stands for division, the M stands for multiplication, the S stands for subtraction, the C stands for check, and the B stands for bring down. Okay, so here we have an example of long division. This is actually a really good equation for you guys to first start off on. Okay, so inside of the house we have 68. Outside of the house we have 2. And on top of the house we have 34. Okay, but first to start, how many times does 2 go into 6? Well, we know that 2 times 3 equals 6, therefore 3 goes on top. But we have to make sure we're following our does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers. So we're going to kind of cross them off once we see that we're using them. So we know that we're using this, okay, but we're also doing the multiplication right here. So 2 times 3 is 6. So that can get crossed off. And then we see that we put the answer to this right here. So 6 minus 6. What's 6 minus 6? Oh yes, that's 0. So here we are. Check. Okay. That's done. That's done. Okay. And here we have 8 because we haven't answered 8 yet. So we brought the 8 down and we put 2 and 8. How many times does 2 go to 8? Well, we know that 2 times 4 is 8. So there, perfect. 4. 2 times 4. What does that equal? Oh, yeah. 8. Okay. So we have 8 minus 8 equals 0. Check. Therefore, that is our answer. Oh, and we can cross that guy off. Okay, here's an example of an equation that I would like you to try it on your own. Okay, so after doing this equation, you should have gotten 18, but don't worry, we'll go over it. Okay, so how many times does 2 go into 3? Well, we know that 2 can only go into 3 one time, okay? So we did the multiplication right there, and then we brought the 2 down, subtracted it. 3 minus 2. 3 minus 2 is 1, okay? Bring down the 6. We have the 6 right here, making this 16, okay? How many times does 2 go into 6? Well, to multiply by 2's, we can do that to find 16. So 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 2 is, what's 8 times 2? Oh, yep, 16. Okay, so we put the 8 right here. Multiply. 8 times 2 is 16. We subtract, and no remainder. So 18 is our answer. Okay, so here we have something different. This that we have here is a word problem. And I know word problems can be tricky, but really all that you need to be looking for is key words. The most important words are numbers. Okay, so let's read this. There are 21, I already have that underlined, children who need a ride to the pizza parlor. Each car can transport 5 children. How many cars are needed to transport 21 children? Okay, so from our equation, our word problem equation, we knew that our main numbers were 21 and 5. 21 being the number of children and 5 being the number of children that will fit into each car. What we're looking for is going to be on top of the house, okay? So, how many times does 5 go into 2? Well, we know that 5 can't go into 2, so what we need to do is do 5 into 21. Well, we know that 5 can't fit into 21, but we do know 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 equals 20. And that's 4 times. So 4 would therefore go on top of the 1. But look, 20 taken away from 21, we still have a remainder, 1. So what we need to do, this is something different. We have to bring down a 0. But because we're taking the 0 out of nowhere, we're making it a decimal. And because 5 goes into 10 2 times, our answer would be 4.2. Therefore, what this means is we need 5 cars to be able to travel all 21 students. Okay, boys and girls, I really hope that you understand this, but if you don't, that's okay. Remember, you can always rewatch the lesson and see if that helps. Also, if you have any questions, write them down and we can discuss them the next day in class. But what I want to inform you that we are doing tomorrow is we're going to be working in groups, and we're going to make division flashcards that will help retain the information that I taught just now in this lesson.